Hey, welcome. This is Leah Bales with the Soul Big Life Show. Today we're talking about giving yourself the gift of savoring. Savoring is a luxurious gift that costs absolutely nothing that you can give to yourself anytime, anywhere. I was listening a few days ago to an interview on the Splendid Table radio show with Harold McGee, who's a food science writer whose most recent book is called Nosedive, a field guide to the smells of the world. I love that. And he just really explores what smell is all about and, different, what it means. There's a whole book just about the sense of smell. And in the interview with Francis Lamb, the host of Splendid Table, he was talking about listening to smells and really being attentive. And then he and Francis were talking about the word savoring, which happens to be one of my very, very favorite words, and the experience of savoring, one of my very favorite states of being. So savor comes from the French word, which means to taste. So in its literal sense, it is to taste. So we often think of it with flavors, the flavors of a great meal. And we can also think of it just with the flavors of life, with tasting, with all of our senses, taking time to breathe it in, to feel it, to really notice. So have you ever noticed that often you'll just naturally and easily savor when something's really special? Let's imagine you hadn't had chocolate for a very long time. I was with a friend once who had been on a pretty strict diet and he loved chocolate. And then when he had chocolate, oh, you could just see how wonderful it tasted to him. So when we have it every day or many times every day, sometimes we don't notice as much, but we still have the option. So I think it's natural and easy to savor when we go to a great restaurant and we know that we're served a very special meal, or we see a friend we haven't seen for a long time and we savor the connection with that person. But savoring is the art of making the ordinary extraordinary when we take it on as a practice. So noticing that you can choose to savor any time, anywhere, like right now. Just notice if you were to slow down and linger here in this moment, look around the room, look outside the window. What could you open your senses to, open your whole body and mind to, so that you allowed yourself to enjoy it a little more? It can start as soon as you wake up every morning. I love that feeling. Really, it's my first meditation of the day, is when I'm lying in bed and I'm warm and cozy and I'm still noticing my dreams. And I just savor that time, the sensory feeling of it being warm and comfortable and surrounded by the soft sheets and loving that just feeling of coming out from my dreams. I saw a bit of a poem this morning by Samabar Khan, and it is about that time when you first wake up in the morning. Savor with me the lushness of a lingering sleep and one last night's dream. Savor with me the lushness of lingering sleep and last night's dream. That feeling, we can start our day in that. We don't have to immediately jump up or immediately think about our to-do list, even if it's just for a minute or 30 seconds or 3 minutes, savoring the experience of waking up. And then as you go to breakfast, again, if you were going to a very special breakfast that someone had made especially for you, you probably automatically would savor it. What if your very ordinary breakfast, whatever it is, oatmeal or eggs or whatever it is, I usually have rice cake and almond butter. I love it. And your cup, your morning cup of either coffee or tea, you let yourself linger with that and you feel the aroma and you feel the warmth of it in your hands and you feel that how it feels to chew. And we actually know that when you take some time like this and enjoy what you're eating, enjoy what you're bringing in, it helps your digestion. I find for me, when I eat that way, with that sense of savoring, I'm much less likely to eat too quickly and eat more than I really want, much less likely to overeat. So I'm not a fan of telling yourself you shouldn't eat anything, but when you do eat like a special something that you don't have very often, or that you have every single day, even more than once, taking time to savor it. to allow yourself to linger in that kind of luscious quality of enjoying it. And then maybe you go for a walk outside and you can like be really preoccupied with things, and it is a good time to think over things. You also can allow yourself to be fully present with that walk and feel how great it feels to have your legs moving and your arms moving and breathing in the air. You're savoring the experience of being physically engaged with the world and engaged in your body, savoring. So savoring is a way of like, I think of it as turning up the volume on your senses and turning up your awareness of the moment. So savoring really is a quality of attention. It's kind of like mindfulness. You know, we talk a lot about mindfulness right now, of being really in the moment. Personally, I think mindfulness is fabulous. Of course, it's great. Personally, I love the term savoring much more because it, to me, says more about pleasure. And to me, says more about enjoying that moment. It says more about like embodying with all my senses and really taking it as the gift that it is. And during the day, if you have a conversation with someone, savoring them, let yourself, it's just a little shift that allows you to notice the person more, notice their beauty, notice what they're really saying between the words. You're listening with your whole body and you're appreciating. Savoring is definitely a form of appreciating. And savoring is a way that we can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. It's one thing to savor a fabulous, expensive or special meal, and that's great. Can you savor the ordinary so that even like I have a rice cake and a couple of rice cakes and almond butter every day, that may sound boring, but when I have that savoring quality, I have that wonderful feeling of, just how good it feels, the crunch and the flavor and the taste. And even there is a fragrance with it and enjoying that quality. And when we do, we become more receptive. We become more attentive, we become more aware, we open up our pleasure pathways, and we become more receptive to the world that's around us. One thing that they talked about in that splendid table interview that we know is true is that neuroscience is showing us more and more that we tend to be very, when we're focused, we're like in that getting it done mode, which is great. We all want to be able to go there. When we're doing that, we're cutting out a lot of sensory experiences. We're cutting out a lot of the world. Savoring in that moment with whomever or whatever you're doing in that moment allows you to expand more so that you take in the beauty, the gift of that moment. So I think it's a really fun thing to play with, and I love doing it. And I invite you to notice, what would it be like if you gave yourself today the gift of savoring? And here's what I notice. It's not like you can't get things done while you're doing it. You can savor, breathing, feeling, enjoying this moment, even as you're getting things done. You also can go into that hyper-focused, get it done mode, and then take a break from it. Go for a walk, not just a walk for exercise, not just to be able to burn calories or, build muscle, but a walk to be able to open to the beauties and the gift of this amazing life and this moment. So savoring is a gift, a luxurious gift that you can give yourself. It costs nothing. And I invite you, whatever you're doing this season, this day, to take some moments to linger. Linger in the luxury of the moment and savor. Noticing for yourself, where might you enjoy savoring a little bit more, taking a little longer to open with all of your senses so you're tasting the world through your body sense, through your sense of smell, through your sense of taste, through your hearing. You're drinking in with all your senses the beauty of the moment. Where might you enjoy doing that today? And have a good time with it. I'd love to hear from you. May you savor the day. May you give yourself the gift of savoring. Thanks so much. See you next time.